Hey, this is Matt.
And Trevor.
And we're bringing you another Team Stomping Grounds Battle Report. So here we have, you are playing Nick Nanavati. Nick's got Screamer and Plague Drone Stars with a bunch of cool Heralds and a Fate Weaver.
Yep. And I'm playing Fate Weaver 2, Bellicor, 2 units of 11 pinks, Nurglings, 18 dogs, and then 2 Flying Zinch Princes.
Fatey on Fatey. Alright, what's the mission you guys are playing?
This is one of the LVO missions. So we have some kind of wonky maelstrom going on, some objectives. You can see here Nick is going first, setting up his list. You know, it's pretty standard stuff in this case. He's kind of spreading out, not really sure where I'm going, leaving his options open.
Now he's got the 2 Herald Zeeches, which he decides to split here, and then he puts, obviously, both the Nurgle Heralds are going to go in with the Plague Drone Star.
Yep.
And I guess Fatey's just going to fly around and do Fate Weaver type things.
Yeah. You know, he's playing Demons. He's still kind of relying on Grim, even though he has multiple things he could technically star, I guess you could call it. So he plays Fate Weaver really conservatively, as Nick usually does. Definitely known for his demon playing. So, but yeah, you see here he's setting stuff up. Like I said, he's kind of flanking the Drone Star, which is his heavy hitter, most durable unit, the thing he really wants to load out. With these Screamer units that even without buffs, they're still fairly durable, definitely fast enough to make sure that they get to do what he needs them to do.
Gotcha. And I guess the idea is he can obviously, if he wants, put both the Zeech Heralds together. He splits them up here. Any particular reason? Like, did they have, what was this, the psychic power? Is that different? Why would you split them up and not just pile them up into one?
The way that this list operates, at least how he likes to play it, he's going to go very centralized with the drones. And kind of hang the Screamers back. Flank them around the sides, use them more for troop killing than actual damage dealers, per se. And really just take advantage of their speed. And what splitting the Heralds does is it doesn't really necessarily make one unit that much more of a priority than the other.
Gotcha. It seems like he might, you've been a big Screamer Star player. It seems like the Screamer Star just might, frankly, not do enough damage. I mean, he's definitely lacking a little bit of a punch. The Plague Drone can definitely do something, but he's kind of a bogged down army.
Yeah. What Demon Stars typically do, especially Screamer Star, and you'll see it with Drone Star in this game too, is that they're really durable. They don't necessarily pack the biggest punch, but they're never dying. And that's really what he's going to look for here. I
mean, you've kind of got the Corn Dog Star. Like, you're a star kind of on the other turn of it. And it seems like you're kind of the more offensive star to begin with. Corn Dogs,
definitely.
They have their corn. They want to be on the assault. They have the advantage. So your strategy going in is probably to make sure the charge kind of you get the charge you want off.
Yeah. This list, the one he's playing is more set up for this type of packet. This was a very general demon list that I used for something else. I honestly don't remember what event it was for originally. Versus his list that he's kind of tailored more for these LVO things. So you'll see, like Maelstrom he starts running away with because I have flying monstrous creatures and I don't have things to hold Maelstrom objectives.
Which is definitely be a thing. So you have bottom of turn, which obviously is a little bit of advantage towards you.
Yep.
He's doing the smart. He's just moving up, and like you said, he's just he's keeping that Plague Drone Star in the middle, and he's kind of using the Screamers just to chill on the sides and be there to deflect. I guess they are really nice for kind of deflecting assaults a little bit and like buffering out, making assaults harder.
Sure. You'll see here. One thing I really like that Nick's doing is he doesn't care about the dangerous terrain checks he's going to have to make on the drones. Don't forget that they still have to take dangerous terrain. There's no way around it. So he's just moving them forward. He says, you know what, I'm toughness 5. I have feel no pain thanks to the Heralds. I have 3 wounds apiece. If I take an accidental wound, which is unlikely to begin with, I don't really care. So I do like how he's doing that. You'll see the blue horrors moving up to the right. You'll see in the very top right there are my Nurglings that are kind of chilling up there. You'll see this a lot in this game. The frame just kind of skips a little. It's
with all the turbo boosting, yeah. So whole army turbo boosted. So yeah, like you said, he's using the Screamers on the right to attack those Nurglings in the back and kind of hunt troops. Because you've kind of bottled yourself into the one side, so he's just going to use his speed at this point.
I've taken the entire left-hand side of the table, so in response, he moves the drones up centralized and moves his entire army over to the right.
And like you said, you were spot on. The Fate Weaver just kind of chilling along the back of the table line down there at the bottom and really staying out of the fray.
Something important to note is he did a lot of measuring, and it's something that we've talked about before. You can cheat now, basically. You can pre-measure all you want, right? So he measured out absolutely everything to figure out where Fate Weaver should go, and Fate Weaver's on the ground right now. He's not even flying. Because he knows there's absolutely nothing that can be in range of it. So he's, not limiting his options next turn for where Fate Weaver can go.
Now, you kind of move your dogs back a little bit. Obviously, to not give him the good charge for the Plague Drones coming in.
I think I left it at something like a 10-inch charge or something like that. The kind of maybe he'll think about going for
and
it,
if worst case scenario, he won't get it, most likely he'll hang himself out. Now, so here's what he does. We talked about being able to do it. He's breaking the one Screamers off. He just breaks the Herald and jumps it back in the other Screamer unit.
Yep. It's a very mobile, option-filled army that he has here.
Because there's no point in having the Herald tied up attacking Nurglings. The Screamers will take the Nurglings on by themselves.
Yep.
No problem. Let the Herald go do Herald things.
What he's worried about in this case is things might go a little funky when attacking Nurglings. That combat might not end in the first round.
It could end. Yeah. Could never end. It's Nurglings.
It's like, a lot of wounds to go through. Yeah. So he's just saying, you know what? The Herald doesn't need to be there, so why put it there? You'll see also... Nick has a lot more units than he started with. I don't. Nick successfully cast like 3 summoning powers. I think it was 2 summonings and a sacrifice on turn 1. I failed 3 straight powers. He didn't deny them. I just failed them.
And that's a big thing with summoning on summoning is you obviously both are throwing a lot of dice at each other. If one guy can get ahead and he starts snowballing that dice count, really becomes oppressive for the other summoning player.
Nick is up 4 dice, 3 units on me right now because I just failed all my powers. He got his all off. So it's not a good start for me. This is the first time playing against this list, although I've seen it before. Really starting to sink in now how many options he has, exactly where this game is going to go.
Now, obviously, a lot of people talk about the Plague Drone Star, and they go, "Oh, well, you've got these units that are moving 12 inches, and then these heralds who are crawling along with them."
Yeah.
Obviously, it's something that you have to manage as a Demons player, but obviously, Nick being one of the best Demon players in the country or the world, he does a really good job at that.
Yeah, he's kind of good at this army.
He's played it once or twice, maybe before.
Maybe won some events in there.
So you're kind of flanking right now with the Demon Princes. Like, what's your general goal with these guys?
After how bad,
and you have Kairos coming in,
after how bad turn 1 went, and I really see where his Screamers are kind of going, thinking this out, I'm saying to myself, you know what? I'm not going to win this matchup if I try and take on these big Screamer units by myself. I'm going to just fly into the backfield, dump a bunch of Flicker Fires, Psychic Shrieks into his things, because he's so far ahead of me in summoning right now. Instead of trying to battle him in a battle I'm already behind, I'm just going to start ripping out these troops. So that's kind of my game plan. So I'm already behind in the summoning game, doing a quick audible to see, if I can make something happen here. Thanks to Bellicor, I also have Invis on the dogs. So the dogs got Invised, they got Grimmed, charged right into that drone star.
Yeah, you kind of, obviously, that could be a sitting there and kind of forever war here.
Yeah, and that's my game plan.
You've got a bunch of units that just don't want to die.
Basically, my thought process here, again, because this is all going back to that turn 1. He's so far ahead in the summoning game against me right now, up so many psychic dice, that instead of trying to beat him at that same game that he's already up in, doing a quick audible, I'm saying, you know what, my dogs are a third the point of this drone unit. I can tie them up forever, nothing's going to happen. I can start picking away at backfield troops. I think I even landed Bellicor here. So
Bellicor's, you have a chance to charge in. I mean, and just like we saw again, those 2 heralds jump out. They're in a new Screamer unit.
Yep.
As he's clearly looking to hunt your pink cars with the other Screamer unit.
Yep. And of course, he summoned another Zinch Herald on the disc on the right hand side.
Yeah. We just kind of probably run around with psychic dice and summon more things.
Yep.
Summoning insanity. It seems Demon on Demons always winds up being. Obviously not playing kill points, so who cares? Summon away. He's got just so many bodies there, and obviously just Kairos. His Kairos is still just kind of chilling in the backfield.
Yeah, one of the more subtle things to watch out here for, because Fate Weaver's back in the air again at this point, is Nick is putting that front kind of bluish pink horror squad at the very bottom. He puts it right in front of Fate Weaver. I think this was kind of a response to me landing Bellicor and saying, you know what, I don't think I'm going to hit the ground. I don't think with a re-rollable grounding check that's something I have to worry about. And you'll see here, I think he actually ran Fate Weaver off the table. He wants nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
Zero chance of things going poorly for him here in case, I get lucky, ground Fate Weaver, and then he doesn't want Be'lakor charging him.
Exactly, because Be'lakor's just going to eat Fate Weaver.
Yeah.
And obviously you're flying your other Demon Princes, your own Fate Weaver around there.
My Fate Weaver is on his board edge right now.
Yeah.
Not my necessarily best plan. His Fate Weaver can always come in and Vector Strike, but like I said, I'm all in on this. Kill all of your backfield troops, see what happens.
I mean, that's a problem you have because now he's kind of doing the same thing. He's all in on your backfield and seeing what happens. That other Disc Herald has moved up the side. It's going to sit there, hold Linebreaker's probably going to summon some random things back there. And he's got these Screamers kind of barreling down on you a little bit here, too.
He is certainly leveraging his small advantage he got early by his Psychic powers going off on turn 1 and mine not. And he's just letting that advantage ride throughout the rest of this game.
You guys are kind of a nice creative way of trading the table here at this point.
Yeah. You'll see his Fate Weaver came in, Vector struck mine. It's flyers on flyers. Definitely in favor of him there.
He obviously broke into combat up there with the other pink unit. He's now kind of being able to play a little bit. And oh, look, I got another Screamer unit breaking out, kind of coming after you here.
Yeah. This is the point of the game that I just went, I am so far behind right now. Things are looking so grim for me. I actually charged Be'lakor into the Drone Star. It wasn't my plan when I landed him to do that. The Psychic powers just kept going in his favor at this point. And I just said, you know what? Screw it. Maybe he'll accidentally screw up and accept the challenge. I was out just running out of options. You'll see here.
It looks like you guys are kind of posed for a giant cluster assault somewhere here.
Frankly, I'm going to be totally honest. I didn't see this coming like I should have. It's the first time I've played against 2 units of Screamers. Didn't really think about what was about to happen to me.
You obviously lost the guy there. We will see the kill shot for that. How did that guy wind up dying?
Yes. So that was my Grim Prince. In the process of casting Psychic Shriek and Flicker Fire, I perils on both powers, took a wound off both, and then grounded myself, and then Fate Weaver Flicker Fired me for lethal.
Lovely, lovely.
Yeah, so I dealt 3 wounds to myself, and then Fate Weaver came in and finished off that one for the last wound on Grim.
Great. So now you're down to Grim, too.
Yep.
Certainly not looking like it's going well. And obviously you have those 2 Screamer stars, like you said, kind of barreling in here.
Yeah, and something important just to remember that these Screamer units have had basically no powers on them the entire game. That Drone Star has Grim, it has Endurance on it. The Screamer units are just flying around killing
I don't think you can afford to lose it because your Corn Dog unit will go after the Screamer units and do pretty well against them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he really can't afford. He has to at least tie you up. It's not obviously you're winning the point battle there, but he can't certainly lose all of that.
Yeah, it was this kind of weird situation where we both wanted that combat just to go on forever, and that's not clearly something that normally happens. Normally, one person doesn't want to be tied up.
So now we're looking at this turn 5 here.
That top left corner.
Everything blew up.
Yes. Nick got off like a 4-way charge by using both Screamer units.
Well, there's the flicker, and there's that massive 4-way. Everything died. Which clearly,
that
not
kill
good for
shot probably could have been like 3 minutes of me just removing models.
Well, clearly the whole top left of the board, and now obviously he's figuring at this point, let's break this fight up. This fight's been going on long enough.
Yeah, that combat involved, I believe it was 4 units of pink horrors and my dog unit. That one Screamer, I think, touched the dog unit. And so it brought demonic instability around to all of the units, now down, to leadership 2.
Well, we can see didn't really go too well for you as Nick's going to get a massive score, and we're going to see that massive, obviously he's going to clean up with this huge combat right here. We'll see that coming up here in a second. But obviously, Nick plays a great demon list. If you guys want to check out any other videos, check it out on the YouTube page. Obviously, you're here. Hope you enjoy the video.